Boswell's honey roast. This is an aromatic, and I got this at Christmas, so it is months and months old. It's been sitting in my humidor, and there are some cherries in there, so hopefully this doesn't taste like cherry, but let's find out. So smelling it through the plastic, it does smell like cherries, but it also smells like dirty feet. All right, smelling the tobacco itself, it's got very subtle hints of honey. It's got a sour smell to it and that dirty feet smell. All right, we'll be smoking it out of our Peterson, this is the long named one, nickel tankard. I can't remember the rest of it, but our Peterson. All right, let's get this loaded on up. And it is not dry, so the humidor obviously works. So the dry draw, it's not supposed to taste like cherry, but I'm getting sweet cherry. This has been sitting in a humidor and it's got like, I don't know, 5 or 6 cherry blends in there from when I was doing my cherry reviews. I do taste a little bit of nuts in there also. All right, let's get it lit up, see what this tastes like. Hopefully there's no cherry. Okay, it smells really, really good. It doesn't smell like cherry. It's very, very mild. I'm getting hints of nuts. It tastes really good. Now this review is going to be skewed because it has been sitting in that humidor for literally months. It's been sitting in there since December, so about 5 months, and it's been sitting in there with cherries. So I'll tell you all the cherries if you want to get this exact flavor that I'm getting today that are in there. And you just gotta let it sit for months. Here, let's light it up again. Okay, on the relight, it's a little bit spicy. It smells really good. It reminds me of Grandpa's pipes. It's got a sweet and sour or tangy taste that it leaves in your mouth while you're drawing. It smells a little flowery also, like flowers in your garden. So we've tamped and relit once. I think your breath will smell good. Yeah, your breath won't stink. And it's got a really pleasant aftertaste in the mouth. I'm not really tasting honey yet. It's called honey roasted. Maybe that's the nuts I'm tasting. Maybe it's supposed to be like honey roasted peanuts or something. But it's like very flowery in your mouth and very tangy. Hopefully that's not the cherries. So I'm not tasting cherries, but I am getting a tang. So that tang, because I don't know why a honey roast would have a tang on it, is probably from the cherries. I do get nuts. All right, let's get this book started. And in the notes, I'll put in there that it was sitting with cherries. So, all right, so we got Boswell's and it's honey roast. I'll list the tobaccos right here that they have because I didn't look before I came out here. I don't know what flavorings it's got. The tin notes is dirty feet and a bit of honey I could smell in there. And sour, it's sour. The taste strength's got to be mild. Room notes pleasant, still moist. It's in a baggie and it's a ribbon cut. All right, we will keep working at this and then we'll do the flavors. Okay, so when it was almost out and I was tamping it, it's very earthy. And then when I kept tamping it to get it relit, I was tasting nuts again, and I do think it's peanuts that I'm tasting. It's a very, very pleasant room note. Did I write that? Okay, so I did get a hint of honey right there too when I was reaching for the book. Yeah, it's pretty good. There is a little spice on it also, and it is citrusy. I am getting like a citrus out of there. So a tangy citrus. Okay, and now I'm getting like while I'm puffing at this, it's making me think of camping while I was a kid. So there must be earthy notes in there. So I'm thinking of, I'm not really tasting pines, but like being out in the woods, camping, and the moisture in the air and the pine trees and the, it doesn't really taste like fire either, but the campfire burning, that's what it's reminding me of. Yeah, especially when you're like breathing in the smoke that you just puffed out. I'm really getting that flashback when I'm breathing in the smoke. All right, let's get this book started. Okay, and then remember, this has been sitting in a humidor with cherries. Okay, so I'm going to write that first because this tasting is probably way off. Like if it was only sitting in there a couple days, it'd be something different, but it's been sitting in there for months. So sitting with cherry blends. Okay, so if you want to know all the tobaccos that I have in my humidor so you can replicate this, if you're interested in replicating it, just let me know in the comments and I'll tell you what they all are. Because I have a ton of tobaccos in there, so I'm not going to list all of them. All right, so you get a very mild spice. You get a citrusy, tangy, sour on your tongue. Okay, you get nuts. At one point I was getting peanuts, but now all it is nuts that I can taste. I can't really pinpoint what kind of nut it is. It's probably a peanut. It's very florally. You do get hints of honey in there. And it's reminding me of camping, so it's got to be earthy. And then if we get anything else, I'll write it in there. Yeah, so see, I got peanuts there when I picked it back up and puffed at it. And the farther down you get, because we're probably at the last quarter, it's a lot spicier. No bite. I think it's predominantly florally. And it's a very, very pleasant aftertaste. And I don't think my breath stinks, so it's got to be a nice smelling tobacco. I would still brush your teeth after, but if you're out and about, I don't think you have to worry about killing anybody with your breath. All right, let's get this cleaned on out. Okay, the smoke wafting off of here is very honey. You could definitely smell honey off of the smoke that's wafting off of the ashtray. And I had a little bit of brown left, so I probably had 2 or 3 minutes left. All right. Today we did honey roast by Boswell's. And we smoked it out of our long-named Peterson. And this rating will be skewed because it has been sitting in cherries. So take it with a grain of salt. I give this a 4 out of 5. So, if you like very mild aromatics that are flowery, that have a tiny bit of spice, that's sour and citrusy, and that reminds me of camping, so it's earthy, this would be the one for you. Now, don't forget I did store this with cherries, so your taste might be a little different unless you replicate my humidor. But it is a pretty good smoke. I'm confident that this would be good sitting out of a humidor with cherries in it. So anyways, you can get these at Boswell's. This one was a gift from them for buying a pipe during Christmas, so I got that one for free. I don't think their tobacco is that expensive though, so try it out. It is pretty delicious. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and
bye.